It is no secret that the music industry is heavily dominated by men, and getting to the top as a woman is no easy feat. So what is the reality of being a woman in music? I am Vick Hope, and this is the Female Forum. Joining me are a panel of rising stars who can give us an insight on the realities of being a woman in music. So let's meet them. We have an incredible live musician with extensive touring credentials, including hitting the road with Niall Horan. It's Maisie Peters.
I mean, I never actually did that. That almost happened and then didn't, but like still good.
Fusing the vibes of Jamaica with a dash of South London edge, it is singer and rapper Alakai Harley.
Hey! Hi.
Hi.
Woo! I'm there.
She is known for her honest and unapologetic storytelling and explosive live performances, including a tour of Little Mix. It's singer, songwriter May Muller.
Hello.
Yes, babe. How are you?
I'm so good. This is like Christmas to me. I'm just like, it's great. Love it.
I love your face. And she is a hugely diverse musician who's already scored a top 10 album. Welcome, Miss Jade Birds.
Hello.
Finally, a performer with 2 million subscribers and 330 million views under a belt is Dodie.
I look so pink compared to everyone else. I don't really know what's going on.
Welcome all. Thank you so much for joining me. As a group, you're all very varied musically. You've got different stories, you've got different styles, you've got different experiences about how you came up. But I want to know what the common themes are, I guess. Let's take it right back. And think back to before you even had aspirations of making music as a career, when you were literally just falling in love with music as a fan. Can you remember who the artists were that made you sit up, made you take notice, made you think, yeah, this is for me, this is my world? What spoke to you?
I really loved Mika. I don't know about you guys, but Mika was like such a project. Like, I think not only did I love his music, like it was so grand and musical and dramatic and silly and like so fun, like it was like really delicious to me. Like his whole theme, like that was the first time I really thought about like a project, like an artist project. Like his album was all like cartoon and colors, and then he had this website and there was like a little Easter egg in the corner, I remember, where you could like find like this certain cartoon thing and click on it, and I was like, wow, this is so amazing, like expansive world that he's built. I loved Mika. Anyone else?
I also loved Mika, but fun fact, did you ever watch the Grace Kelly video?
Yeah.
The girl in the green dress, that's me.
No! Wait, no!
The other guy who goes, dinner doesn't solve anything.
That's me, baby!
What?
Oh my god.
That's such a weird fact. That is such
iconic.
That's amazing. How did that happen? What? I mean, we won't go too much in, but how?
I auditioned and I got it.
Oh my god, that's so weird.
Most May Muller fact ever. Obsessed.
Because I loved Mika as well, and I was just like, I literally thought that I was like, it's downhill from there. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was the highlight of my life.
I'm going to immediately watch this music video after we've done this again, because that's me done. I'm done now. Goodbye. Adios.
That's wild. Oh my god, I'm like, my childhood dreams are coming true right now.
It's amazing. Well, May, other than appearing in Mika's actual video, which other artists were you loving when you were growing up?
I mean, it was Lily Allen for me. It's kind of hard as well because we get like compared quite a lot, and I'm a bit like wary because it's like, oh, maybe I should like try and stay away from that then, because I don't want that comparison. But it's like, it's true. Like, I was inspired by her, and she's such an amazing artist. I was like 12 years old listening to that All Right Still album. Like, I had no idea what she was talking about, but I was like, yes. And I genuinely, I don't think I would be making music if it wasn't for that album.
Alakai, what about you?
Ooh, for me, it was definitely Marion Hall, formerly known as Lady Saw. Massive Lady Saw fan. I just used to pick all of her songs apart. I mean, at the time, a lot of them were explicit, and I probably shouldn't have been listening, but she was my fave, you know. For some reason, she reminded me of my mum as well, so she was like mother, you know, and I picked apart how she created a song and how she was just like confident in who she was, and she just shined, you know, and she was just true to who she was. I admired that, and amongst a few other people were really off Woody Banton, Beyonce, you know, Lady Saw was like, you know, I was Lady Saw was me.
When you guys were younger, did you ever think like beyond the music and the visuals of the artists? So Beyonce you just mentioned, Destiny's Child, they came along. Was your head already in a place where you were like, okay, so I wonder whether they write their music, who assembled this group, which label are they signed to, what are the politics here? Do Michelle and Kelly even mind that Beyonce is getting all the attention? Did that go through your mind, Maisie, when you were looking at artists who are out there?
Yeah, definitely. I think for sure I've always been very interested in like the behind the scenes, and I've been the biggest Taylor Swift fan since I was like 12. It's like basically my whole personality, but it's been really interesting being like a diehard Swiftie since 2012, because there was some rocky eras between like 2012 to 2015. I think the Britney doc has made everyone really reflect on like female pop stars and the way that we treated them and the way the media treated them. And you know, I was always a massive Taylor Swift fan, but you think back on Taylor Swift when she was, you know, 16 and the MTV Awards with Kanye, but also you think back on Taylor Swift being like 22, and I'm 20, 21 soon, and I think about if my life was constantly written about and my songs were constantly picked apart in who I was writing them about, and this whole narrative that we all believed, even like, you know, myself to a certain extent, that Taylor Swift was precariously dating men or whenever she felt like it, and then you look back and you're like, Taylor Swift has dated 6 men in 10 years, like but it's just insane. And I feel like it's really taken until this year or last year to really reflect on that and everyone realize how awful it was.
The stats tell us, and I think it's very clear, we all know this, that the industry is incredibly male heavy. Do you think that male managers, male label execs, basically men in charge, understand your needs and your goals as an artist, as you?
I think I've been incredibly privileged. I have a partner who we joke like hates men because he's so fearful of just the male, like the ego, the kind of thing, and he's quite incredibly effeminate, and he's been with me for 3 years and we work together very well. And my managers, you know, Sam and Chris, like Sam literally sat me down when I was 18 and was like, look, we want to take on artists who want to be in control of their career. We think it's especially important as a young woman that you do so yourself. So I've had incredibly supportive infrastructure, which may be rare, maybe not. I haven't worked it out. The one thing I remember quoting early on is the songwriter element, the co-writer element. I think it's especially weird. I remember kind of looking up my favorite song or something, and you know, even Alanis Morissette is my favorite artist of all time, and there being like a kind of middle-aged dude in the writing of it. And I always found it quite bizarre. I think, especially when I was younger, I was sort of pushed into these rooms, you know, because I was like, oh, well, I must have to write with X and so to get a manager or to get, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I found the experience quite kind of not good, put it that way. I found it diluting my experience through my songwriting, not enhancing. And I've always found that curious as to why that happens with young female artists, why we need a middle-aged bloke to help us, like, write our experiences. I don't understand it really.
Well, Alaka, you've talked a lot about having Nadia Rose sort of take you under her wing, encouraging you to do open mic nights, and you had a bit of you had a mentor. And that was shaped by a female. Like, do you think it would have played out differently if it had been a male mentor?
For me, I was blessed to have quite a few people that were male and female around that time. But definitely with Nadia being somebody that understood my experiences, and she was such a confident woman as well. You know, it's like everything that she had gone through, she would pass down to me. I definitely, when I think back, I do think if I didn't have her in my life around that time, maybe I wouldn't have felt so free to express who I am, because I think she's a person, even now, she's who she is. And if you don't like it, you don't like it, you know, and she just shines and you just see it come out, and it's just like, but this is her truth. And I think one thing she taught me was to live in my truth, live in whatever my truth was, be confident at that, and don't let anybody dim my shine. And so I definitely feel like it would have been different if I had a male my age around. Probably I might have suppressed a little bit, you know, in terms of who I actually am.
I asked you earlier who your idols were when you were growing up, but now that you have a working knowledge of the industry, now that you're killing it, who do you think is a good example of a female artist that is killing it in the industry today?
I think Billie Eilish is smashing it. I love her so much. I think she is just like a true gem in this whole industry. I'm so pleased that she's doing as well as she is, because I think she's so different. Her music is so different. And I think you can really tell that like her integrity is there. She really fights for her art, and I respect it and I love it. And I think I don't know, it's just amazing to watch her grow.
I also think Meg Thee Stallion is also a really good example. Like, she's just kind of, obviously she's probably been doing this for years and years and years, but she kind of just exploded onto the scene and kind of catapulted to fame in a way. And I think the way she's handled it is really great. Like, just the way she interacts with her fan base, her image, her writing is incredible. And I just think everything is just so on point. And it's kind of the same with Billie. Like, she kind of catapulted very, very quickly. And some people, that must be really, really hard to sort of get used to that and like climatize to that. And I think she's done it like really, really well. And like, you don't who have you ever met anybody that has like a bad thing to say about Megan? Like, never. I haven't.
Well, what do you guys watching think about this? Keep the discussion going in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and join us for part 2, where we'll be delving deeper into how female representation in music looks today. Bye for now.